we can focus on process instead of profits. And that will help keep your motivation intrinsic and holistic and big picture. And that sort of motivation, you guys, that is what fuels the longevity in the business, because it's not about a quick fix, a quick hit, a high fat P&L that you followed one guy because he's an amazing trader per his TikTok. And so you did what he said he was doing. You had a great day. You're going to have a high from that because it's money, right? But I would encourage you to not get too deep into that, because that's not really yours yet. It's a start. It's something to learn from. You can definitely take gems from that experience, and maybe his style is your style. But in that situation, you should use that and channel that to fuel your drive to know more, to understand more, to pick it apart, and to figure out exactly why and how you could even do it better next time, and what that guy said that made you want to get in the trade, and then how you can make that your own.
Hey, welcome back. Here at the Market Mamas podcast, I cover a wide range of topics, from the intricacies of day trading to mindset mastery and psychological growth, with the goal of the conversations being next level growth for all of us. My name is Becky, and I'm a US-based futures day trader from the Pacific Northwest. My trading experience includes trading stocks, options, crypto, and futures, with both trading a personal account as well as with prop funding companies. Over time, I found that I most enjoy the fast-paced world of intraday futures trading, so that is my primary day trading focus now. Thank you for joining me on the Market Mamas podcast today.
Hey guys, welcome back to Market Mamas. Many of you know me. I'm Becky, a futures day trader, host of Market Mamas, and your guide through some of the wild experiences we get to have as day traders. I think trading the market is incredibly amazing. Often it is also humbling, challenging, difficult, definitely fascinating, and trading psychology is at the heart of all of that. So that's what we talk about here at Market Mamas. Thank you for being here with me today. Now, today specifically, I am kind of excited. I've been thinking about this honestly my entire career. It's been an undertone of everything that I'm doing in my trading. And so I just want to spend a minute just hashing it out and seeing if you guys feel the same way. I don't think it gets a ton of airtime in trading world, but I think that it's valuable to give credit to. And that is the idea that we have to actually love trading. You have to have passion for it. You have to have a real dedication to the energy and the career path and the goals and the actual work of it. Like, being passionate about the work of trading is kind of a secret sauce to winning and to staying with it long term. So hear me out. I know what you're thinking, right? A lot of people join trading and they're like, I got to learn the technicals, which is so important. Like, passion cannot be that big of an importance or even something to really talk about trading. But give me a minute. I get that trading, you have to have a focus on charts, setups, the indicators that speak to you and that you understand and that you can lean on. And you need to have setups. You need to understand what the market is doing, who is in charge, what happens when support holds, what happens when resistance holds. But let's be honest, there is another energy to it. There is something beyond just the technicals. We're here to earn money, right? So that is an overarching goal with trading. We want to, build our bank accounts and earn that financial freedom. And that is so important. Like the money, the math, how we're using our accounts, how we're using the contracts that we use or the stocks, how that all can compound, how we have to manage our risk. Numbers are a big part of it as well. But I'm sorry if this is where you're at, but I value authenticity. And so at Market Mamas, that's what I always want to bring to the table as well. And roughly 90% of day traders lose money. And it's worse in the beginning. It's much harder the first year. The first year, it's more like 99. Okay. And so if you're persevering through that and you're past that and you're into your next year, like, congratulations, stick with it, stick with me. Like, let's keep digging in. There is a light at the end of the tunnel where it smooths out. Because I think most of us, right, I myself included, we start with dreams of a fast fortune and hitting it rich and being the one who really gets in and locks it in and figures out the best system and dials in their psychology fast and easy. But most quit frustrated, broke, sad, irritated, burned out, frustrated, like mad. They don't want to tell their family, but they have to tell their family. It can be challenging. When you have the first big losses, you blow your accounts, you use prop funding companies and you blow many accounts. Like, that is really painful. And that's where most traders just say, you know what, this is not what I thought it was. I am not getting rich quick. I'm getting broke quick. Bye-bye. So the secret sauce then, right? It's not strategy. It's not finding the holy grail trading setup that works and just will always work. Those are out there. Those are a dime a dozen on YouTube. There's a ton of strategy videos out there. And many of them work for those traders that tell you, like, I think there's a lot of actual validity to a lot of the things out there because people find strategies that work and they make money on it. And let me tell you a little secret here. It's their psychology that holds and their dedication to the process, which is an ability to love the journey through the hard times and stick with it in order to find the profitability and settle into a strategy and embrace it fully and stop hunting more, and instead dig into your own experience and fall in love with who you are becoming as a trader. That is a secret sauce, right? And you can't tell that. You can't teach that. You can't watch a video and decide to do that strategy. It's more so who you become when you're trading. And I think if you don't think about it, it could be happening to you. Like you could be in the exact same place that I am at, but I don't know if you've ever thought about it this way. So that's why I'm like, let me talk about it. Because I have been there, right? This is how I got to where I am at. In the early years, there is days that are so exciting. Those big win days are really fun. But then there's also the frustration and the losses and the big hits to your account where you question everything. So it's highs and it's like gut wrenching lows. Like that is the experience of figuring out if you can be a trader or not. But then if you don't quit, over time, you realize something. If you don't have passion, you're not going to last long enough to ever see the consistent profitability because it has to hold you steady and call you back when you're at the lows, because that's where you can be like, nah, it's not for me. This girl, she's crazy. I'm not available for this roller coaster anymore. I'm going to find someone who's a little more chill. But if you have passion for the roller coaster and you believe you can get better at riding it with more neutrality and getting better at holding on to the highs, then you can find a passion for it through that. If you can, that's when it can become a driving force. And that driving force can actually really propel you to drill in deeper and fight harder to get better and lock in and stop doing the things that are self-sabotaging you a little bit. It can be the driving force, this love of the game, to really harness all of your energy and your momentum and your intentions to do it to the best of your ability, right? So I think that that is kind of a big deal that I have never heard a video on, to be honest with you, but it's something that I have been thinking about recently because I have been through kind of a lot in life. I mean, we all do. We're all adulting as traders, and there's things that we have to experience in life that will make even trading harder. And so for me, I threw out even some personal hurdles this winter. There's not a chance I could quit trading. But why? Like it's an added stressor. It's that thing I get up early for it 5 days a week, sometimes six if I'm doing, extra work in the morning before the kids are up. And so what? Why? Right? Like I have a good career. I am also a nurse still practicing. And so I don't need this, but I do need it. Okay. So let's get a little deeper into this. Let's start with the myth that everyone is chasing, which is the secret formula, right? The holy grail. Someone posts online that they've got this magic setup that guarantees you make $1 million in 3 months. It's the holy grail. That's all they've ever needed. They can teach it to you. You give them 2 weeks of your time and mentorship, and they will just open your eyes to the world that you have been needing in trading your whole life. Well, I mean, we chase that, right? We all have. In the beginning, that is what almost all traders think that they will find and that exists, and that they can be the ones to lock into it as well if they just find the right strategy and really spend the time there. Okay, well, what's the reality of that? You guys know because you are here with me at Market Mamas, which is trader psychology. So you're a little deeper into the game at this point. Shortcuts don't exist, right? No one has a system that's bulletproof, and the market has a funny way of humbling even the smartest traders. Okay. I don't have a system that's bulletproof, and I am a profitable trader, and I have been humbled by Miss Market all of the time. Okay, so I also have a Learning from Legend episode at Market Mamas from Paul Tudor Jones, and I love him. He is really a very strong trader who has given us so much to learn from. But one of his quotes is, "The secret to being successful from a trading perspective is having an indefatigable and an undying and unquenchable thirst for information and knowledge," right? So you will not fatigue, you will not tire of hunting knowledge. So that is what I'm talking about. Like forever learning. You can't imagine quitting. You want to soak up every bit of information until your dying moment to be the best trader that you can be. That is passion and dedication. That is not luck. That is not one indicator. That is not one guy, one video, one strategy. Instead, it's a dedication, a knowledge, a passion, a hunting, a thirst, a desire that you just need to keep learning everything that you can to be the best trader that you possibly could be. So how can we fully embrace that, right? Because like I said, and like, if you're here, like, that there are low lows when you are dialing it in. So how do we persevere through that, right? I think a big part of this that can really help, that has helped me, is celebrating the wins. So, and it doesn't have to be necessarily a P&L win. It can be, did you follow your rules today? Did you size appropriately and honor your intentions? Did you journal thoroughly your trades like you intend to do when you are following your system? You want to journal both the logistical information about how you got in, why you got in, but also the emotional experience of I traded, peacefully and I followed my system, or I got fearful and nervous and I hesitated and I closed it early and it worked. Like, are you journaling holistically and including everything that you need to potentially learn about your day, both technically and psychologically? Because that's a big deal. And so celebrate that when you do it. That is an area to progress in, even if your P&L is a lagging indicator in your progress. So in that way, we can focus on process instead of profits, and that will help keep your motivation intrinsic and holistic and big picture. And that sort of motivation, you guys, that is what fuels the longevity in the business, because it's not about a quick fix, a quick hit, a high fat P&L that you followed one guy because he's an amazing trader per his TikTok. And so you did what he said he was doing. You had a great day. You're going to have a high from that because it's money, right? But I would encourage you to not get too deep into that, because that's not really yours yet. I mean, it's a start. It's something to learn from. You can definitely take gems from that experience, and maybe his style is your style. But in that situation, you should use that and channel that to fuel your drive to know more, to understand more, to pick it apart, and to figure out exactly why and how you could even do it better next time, and what that guy said that made you want to get in the trade, and then how you can make that your own, how you can learn from everyone and everything, basically. Like, being a lifelong learner and soaking up all of the knowledge and energy and potential of the market is a secret sauce to really bringing it all together and holistically embracing the journey that we're working towards, right? And I think that that is how you can enjoy the journey as well as embrace the longevity of the business, because you want to be that forever learner, and you want to not just take things at face value and think that you have arrived, because you're going to sell yourself short. There is so much always to learn and refine, myself included. Like, I'm a 5-year trader at this point, and I'm doing pretty well, but no way do I want to not have multiple conversations with different traders throughout my day, with my mentor, with other mentors, with my trading partners, with my trading communities, so that I can see if they're seeing something that I didn't quite see. I want to think about it and think about what I saw, and then merge it together and figure out what happens at the end of the day. Remember those conversations, let it all kind of fester, for lack of a better word, in my knowledge, in my understanding, and make me a stronger trader, which that is like really kind of making it much bigger than one quick strategy that is going to be the holy grail. See what I'm saying? There's such different approaches to learning what we need to learn as traders. Now, if you are in the point where you're having some struggles, I want to say that, like, welcome to trading. I think the thing is that day trading is tough. It's mentally grueling at times, honestly. Like, your emotions are constantly under siege. Okay. The experiences of losing money, losing your accounts, losing momentum, getting close to a payout, and then fumbling and messing up the accounts, that stings real bad. Like, the emotional pain, the psychological hit is a real thing. Okay. So it's tough. Small mistakes, even when they're small, they can feel like a big deal. Like, in hindsight, in 3 months, you're not going to remember this day. But in the heart of this day, when the losses are locked in and your accounts are red in every way, it sucks. And sure, you won't remember it in 3 months, but right now there's a pain there. And so if you're only in it for the money, you're going to burn out, because those days suck. Like, they just do. And so if you just want to have only green days and profitability, and that guy that you saw in that TikTok said it will only take 3 months, and I'm at month 4, so F this, I'm out, then you're out. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the energy that a long-term trader exhibits. That is not a sustainable behavioral emotional experience. Like, that just means that maybe you're going to be great at something else, and it is not trading, which is fine, because there's there's a lot of career paths in this world, and there is several for everyone. So you just got to find what works for you. But if you've experienced those really low lows and you're like, but I've had really great days, I want to get back to the really great days. What can I learn from this? Passion for the game, for your journey, is a survival tool. Okay. Okay, so Ed Secoda, right? We have heard that name in the trading world. So he is quoted saying, "The trend is your friend until the end, when it bends." And I love this, because it's not actually just about price action. It's also a lesson for life. So if you are struggling, you're having maybe some lower lows, and you are hitting resistance, and you're not locking in your trades how you would like to lock them in. Well, if you're learning through the lows and you are asking questions and you're figuring it out and you're still taking the hits, but you're still resetting and trying as many times as you can, that trend of lower lows will bend. You are putting in the work. You are slowing your trajectory down. You are putting in energy that is making you smarter. You are taking losses and figuring out how to take less losses when that happens again the next time. When you can see to stop taking that trade that didn't work out a little bit sooner the next time, you are learning. And so that trend can bend and it can turn upward and it can be bullish and you can have a V-shaped recovery, right? That can be a lesson in life as well as on the charts, right? So loving the game, it really does help you ride through the struggle trend a little bit of learning when the money is not there. In fact, it's the inverse of there. It's costing you money. I think every trader in their first, months to years is trading as an expense. You are paying market tuition, you are paying a mentor sometimes, you are paying in losses and account reset fees. You are paying to learn to trade. But you know what? Doctors pay to learn to be doctors too. Lawyers, nurses, we all pay tuition to learn the game, to pass, to get certified, to build clientele, to start making some income, to start paying off those loans, and then having a little extra to have a life. That's what trading is too. And so if you can embrace the period that is, for a minute, the money isn't there. The money is the inverse of there. And then the results can turn. You're really driven and dedicated to holding to it, and you fall in love with the journey and the experience because you believe that you can turn it. Like you've taken enough good trades that you know that you have setups you can catch. And so then you strive to catch them. You put your energy into building that momentum. And so even when they're not there every day or they're not still the majority of your trading days yet, they're there and you hunt them. And hunt them not on the charts, not every candle pattern, but you hunt them in the way of like, what did I miss? What can I learn? What do I need to fine tune? I half seas understand this VWAP strategy. Who can teach me more about it so that it's clearer to me how and when I use it? Just a quick pause before we get into this. Trading can be intense, and staying mindful during your session matters so much. That's why I created and am sharing a free 3-part audio experience that's helped me deeply. 1 for starting your day with calm intention, 1 to stay centered while you trade, and 1 to wind down with grace when it's time to stop. These tracks are yours. Just click the link in the description. So I think part of that is that's part of an energy that you have to cultivate as well. So you want to start by falling in love with the process, okay? So that is the process of learning to trade, is that what the heck did I do wrong on this day that ended red? It's fine. I know I'm going to have to end red. There's a probabilities to this. And in the beginning, it's skewed to the losses. And so kind of tracking that, saying, I lost 4 out of 5 days last week on these certain setups. I lost bigger, I lost smaller. What did you learn? So track that and your outcome, but also in your personal growth. Are you starting to go to neutral faster instead of sitting in a deep emotional low? Are you having smaller losses because you're cutting losing trades sooner when you notice the warning signs that the trade isn't working out? So somewhere where you would have taken a max loss, maybe you're taking a small hit because you're saying, I don't like this trade anymore, and you're cutting it when you get in and it wasn't quite set up. That is an improvement and growth. Like track that, make a note, say, I like how we managed that. I took a smaller hit when I didn't see XYZ right away, which is the sign that the setup is working, right? Same thing with emotions too. So pay attention if you can manage your emotions better day to day. Am I recovering quicker? Am I bouncing back? Am I not holding the emotional frustration from the morning into my afternoon? I'm still able to fully embrace my other responsibilities with my children or what have you. So that is personal growth as well, of you're having more stability through the game. And so that's something that you can celebrate and you can believe is part of the growth with that, because $1 million hedge fund managers, they will have red trades too, but they don't let it keep it down. They have to continue to put millions on the line and trade the capital that they are entrusted with. And so they can't hold any sort of negativity either. I mean, sure, taking a loss is going to sting for anyone who's a human, but if it can sting for seconds versus days, like massive difference in your ability to reset and dial back into your process. So to do that, it's sort of embracing the progress. That's what I'm saying, is let it go from like a multi-day sad, frustrated, feeling horrible from a big loss in your first year versus when you're older, you manage your risk, older in the trading game, and you just say that, damn, like that sucked. Like I wish that I didn't lose, but I'm going to go for a little walk and see what's up later. you know? So journal your trades, but not just your profits and loss, but also reflect on your decisions and your personal patterns and your energy and your moments of discipline, your moments of patience, resilience. And then when your accounts are not quite growing, when your P&L hasn't fully reflected the growth yet, just know that comes second. That always comes second to dialing in your process and your emotions and your psychology. That's just the math of trading, right? The P&L is the lagging indicator, which is a bummer because we start trading because it looks like a way to make nice money from an internet connection and some YouTube videos. There's a lot more to it than that. And the money is the last thing that comes. And then you can scale it after you start getting some stability with small money. So, one other tip for this, you guys, is to grow friendships with other traders and then speak to them all of the time. Like, embrace those relationships because for me, that has been incredibly powerful in my momentum and my trading journey and my ability to love it. Because when I speak to other traders and I say, I did this on a really good day and I'm excited and they're excited for me and they're so proud and we're celebrating the ways that I've grown into that. And then on the hard day, it's like they will ground you in the fact of like, your survival rate is 100%. Like, on these hard days, so much. Like, I like that you took slightly less loss on this and you shut down a little bit sooner. You still did all these other things in your day. Like, you are strong. And that camaraderie with trading friends is incredibly powerful for embracing the journey of it and being able to talk about it, maybe laugh about it, even on a hard day at the end of the conversation, maybe. But that's a part of loving it too, is that you surround yourself with it. The market doesn't have to feel threatening. It can more so feel like a teacher, right? The market is not against you. You're not against the market. You're not trying to beat the market, but instead you're trying to play with her, to dance with her, enjoy the wonderland of opportunity that the market is, to embrace Miss Market as a teacher that she will give tells, and you have to just keep learning until you're quicker at catching the tells and the inclinations and the energy and the direction and the setups and the candle closings. Learn from Miss Market and enjoy the dance because then you can fully embrace it and every little thing doesn't have to be a big deal. It's just a move. Someone trips and falls, you help them up and you catch the next beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a part of the passion of trading, and it's such a better experience than feeling like you have to best the market. Because that fighting all the time is you live in the fight or flight nervous system response, and that adds so much more stress to your body, to your energy, to your life, to your health. There's a different way if you have found that you're kind of stuck in that fight or flight threatening situation. Doesn't have to be scary and fearful. It can more so be educational and fun. I think that's what it is. I mean, honestly, that's how Market Mamas came to be also, is a passion for the pursuit of trading, but even knowing that it was really hard. When Market Mamas was first born 2.5 years ago, my partner at the time and I were not profitable. And I think I had one payout and then I lost my account the week later. And so then the week after that is when Market Mamas was born as an idea. And then we rapidly progressed with it. But basically, like, trading is hard and I want to be super authentic with you and go all out in this world and say that I love trading and I have had so many tears over it, millions of tears over trading and a lot of celebrations, and some of my very best friends are traders now, and that took time to develop, and it's worth it. To community, if you're still here with me, please show me a little love, like show Market Mamas a little love, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And maybe leave a supportive and or entertaining comment about your journey in trading and what you have learned, what you love, what you hate, what helps you stick with it, and we can grow together. Like, I think that there's a lot of value to be held in camaraderie with traders. Okay. One more thing that I really have to say about this experience is that let it take time. Sorry. I mean, that's the answer, right? Consistency just takes time. And I'm talking about years, not months. And most traders will quit before they can even give the journey a chance to really play out. And I think that's extremely common in trading, to quit after months of failure. And I couldn't quit. I debated quitting after many months of failure and I couldn't. I felt like there was too much potential and it kept calling me back. And so I just instead, after that last time I tried to quit a few years ago, I just was like, I'm all in. I couldn't stop because I saw too much potential. And so I had to change my leverage. I had to adjust. I did a lot of things differently then. But if you are there and you are in the months of loss and difficulty, it takes pushing through that. I absolutely love the book Mindset Secrets for Winning. That's written by Mark Minervini, and he's one of my favorite authors in the trading space. If you guys, he has multiple books, you should check them out. Which actually, there's a Market Mamas episode on that book, Mindset Secrets for Winning. It's called the Market Mamas episode is called Decide and Create Your Most Successful Life and Trading Outcomes. So he said something that sticks with me all the time, and that is you can't become a great trader without first loving the process of learning how to trade. Okay, so he is like a world famous trader and author, and that was something that was a game changer for him. He's got a whole section in the book about the passion of trading, the loving the process even when it's painful. And I really wholeheartedly believe that you have to embrace the grind, the study, the repetitive chart work, the getting back in the game, like the getting back in the arena after taking the punches. So I think we can break it down. Like if you are still working through this hard period of trading where you are taking the punches more than you would prefer and not quite enjoying all the payouts yet, I think try to break your trading down. So you want to start with mastering your rules and how you want to trade, what size account you want to trade, who you want to partner with that for a funding company or a small account of personal money. And then once you create some rules around that, some structure you want to redefine and understand and develop your strategy and your trade setups. Once you have those two things, right? The logical, the logistics, the size, the risk management, and your strategy, what your strategies look like, that takes a long time to dial in and a lot of time to refine. After that, you have to fully embrace the psychological endurance period because this is the longest, most arduous, I think, part of the journey. Because when it's technical, you're just studying, you're making notes, you're making charts, you're back testing, you're making notes on charts, you're sending your charts to your mentor, you're sending your charts to your friends. That is interesting work. It's like math. But the psychological endurance period, that's where traders are born. Okay. It's not learning a strategy, it's surviving the psychological hurdles. And eventually, after that, once you stabilize psychologically and fully embrace a refined trading strategy, then you can start to scale your account and see the money that changes your life. Now, the psychological endurance period, it is not super short. It's different for everyone. We all come to trading at different points in our adulthood and our life with different traumas in the past that we have to work through, with different experiences with money. And so you want to kind of dig in at that period. There's a ton of other videos on my channel about different psychological hurdles, but you basically have to embrace anything that sets you back as a lesson and not a failure. Every losing day on the charts is information. It's data for your journey, for your experience, for your capabilities, for your setups. Instead of it being a hit to who you are, it's a lesson. Every mistake is a step towards growth. So in that way, you're building a trading compass. You're dialing in which direction you need to go, what it really isn't working. So cut that shit. And this over here is mostly working. So what can I fine tune with it? You're really kind of drilling in, like when I'm really afraid and frustrated and I'm irritated at this other person and I try to trade, it goes very poorly. So if you're ever in that situation, heaven forbid, where you're really frustrated with another part of your life, maybe don't trade that day. Just say a neutral day is not a loss. And I'm really having all kinds of negative, unhelpful energy over here. And I don't want to bring that to my capital. So when you start to recognize that in your trading journey and you dial that in, that's a big win. That's you dialing in who you are as a trader. So having clear rules that guide your actions every day, including risk management, account size, account trade management, daily management of your amount of trades that you get to take, figuring all that in and honoring it, that is how you really sort of start to lock into where you're going and how you're getting there and what is your most successful path to kind of try to stay on. You get a little off path, it gets a little in the weeds. You got to be like, this doesn't feel right. I'm not good. My outcomes are reflecting the fact that I'm a little lost in the weeds over here. What do I need to trim out and get back on track with what was working and what I maybe need to spend some more energy on? If you think about that, it creates some structure, right? You can build confidence around the fact that there's a lot of chaos out there. There's a lot of wins and losses. There's a lot of noise that is not helpful. So as you evolve into your trading journey, you just want to start fading that. You want to fade out the things that you have proven in your experience and your journaling don't help you, derail you, are not the strategies that speak to you. They don't work on the timeframes that you like to trade or the type of day that you like to trade, whether you're a morning trader, afternoon trader, whatever. Like, that work where you're figuring out what to cut and what to fine tune is how you become a great trader. Now that's technical and that is emotional. And so that period, it takes a long time. And so I just want to be real with you that that is where your trading dreams are built. They're established, they're founded. So then what if you're not sure? What if you're not sure if you are as passionate as I am sounding right now? Because it's true. It's coming from my core. And I believe everything that I say on this channel and today. So what if you're not there or you're not sure or you're kind of pissed off that you're still losing right now and you're not sure if you want to go all into what I am saying you have to work through? Well, I would say that part of what you can think about when you're trying to make that decision is, can you treat trading as a craft and not a paycheck, right? So in the beginning, when it's still hard, can you embrace trading as a craft, as a potential, as the market is an educator and you are in college and you are not near graduation yet. You are still learning and you have many more semesters to learn from. And it's not a paycheck yet, but the paycheck comes once you get through your education and then you start to really develop your practice. So identifying the parts of trading that are really exciting and embracing those and celebrating those and have that be your favorite class, and that you get to have favorite classes and then you get to have parts of tradings that you don't prefer to have to do, but it's a requirement for graduation. So you do it, such as taking the red days, like learning how to lose well is an actual like multi-semester class in trading. If we're going to nerd out on the university analogy right now, you have to revisit that lesson many times about how to take a small loss and live with it. So what parts of trading do you love? Is it pattern recognition? Is it some decision making under pressure? Is it strategic problem solving? Is it the journaling expression part of it? Like whatever lights you up and feeds your positive energy, like fully love on that. Like dig into it, nerd out on it, find someone else who nerds out on it and share it with them. Share it with your partner, share it with your kids if they're, old enough to kind of get it a little bit. Like really enjoy the parts that speak to your heart and your entertainment side of you, and go all in for that. Richard Dennis, he put it very simply: you learn by doing. You can't just read about trading, you have to experience it, right? And he is a world famous trader for a reason. And when you lean into the experience with curiosity, learning becomes fun. Trading can become fun. Even the losses, you can learn to shrug them off a little bit sooner because you're experiencing something amazing. You're pushing through something that has the potential to be generational wealth changing. And so embracing it with curiosity versus pain and stress just makes it more joyful. That is the passion part of trading, of even the stressful parts can be embraced with curiosity versus pain. And no, it's not as easy as that. Like it's a shift that takes a long time. You have to start turning that energy. You have to start saying, this is really stressful, but it's done. Like I can't go back and undo that trade. So how can I move forward sooner? Well, I can be like, what the heck? And I can send it to another trader who I value their opinion and we trade similar and be like, how did I mess this up? Like what? And then have that conversation, and just talking it out starts to diffuse it already. So that's a small, like, you take your frustration to it somewhere, to an outlet where you can kind of dump it out a little bit and turn it into a, what did I miss? How can I do better next time? And so switching that stress to curiosity is really great. And also, like if you're experiencing that on your charts in the day, I would encourage you to take some time on the weekend or after hours or midday when the market is slow and backtest your strategy, because that can also put it in your forefront of your mind where you're putting in quality work to understand, to be able to do better. And so you can simulate the trades in the backtesting environment. You can simulate live trading, even if you want to take a real little bit of a break from the capital if you're feeling too much stress. And that can put low pressure on it, but you can still keep refining your strategy. So it's like a medical student, right? Who wants to be a surgeon. You want that medical student to spend a whole lot of time in the sim lab at the hospital practicing how to do heart surgery before he actually cuts on a heart. So backtest and sim trade and figure out how to be the best trader that you can before you blow thousands of dollars. You'll be more steady through the process and you will be embracing the journey of the experience of learning. And so I just, for me, like studying and embracing, my trading friends, my communities, enjoying the journey, laughing at mistakes when you can, have a one-on-one call with someone who's your closest person or accountability partner when you really need to let it all out is super good to help through this period. I had some friends couple years ago, we would meet on Saturday mornings on a Zoom. And one of my trading friends, he called it the TMI group because we would just like dump, like verbally just dump on our weeks and what we hated and what we did wrong and the days that we lost and what we did about it. And we would laugh and cry. And it was so, I don't know, just blow off the steam. You know what I mean? Like it was a small group. It was wonderful. We got to celebrate together and commiserate together. And I feel like we weren't alone in this journey that can sometimes feel maddening. And something like that helps turn it into like you isolating to you. There are people who are in this with you who are experiencing the same thing that you are, and they are continuing to get back in it too. So if you want to continue to get back in the game, like you got to kind of roll with that, right? And so I think also, reflect on your journey, review your trades, your charts, your emotions, like reflect on that. And it can be a feedback loop that you can remember all the good things that you did. And sometimes even looking back, if you did keep a good journal somewhere, you can look back at what you did in 2023 and compare it to what you're doing in 2026 and be like, damn, I'm a long ways. Like, I don't know what she was doing. Those trades are crazy, but like, I'm really happy that I only took one trade today and it was an A plus setup and I took a larger chunk of the move and I held longer and I understood it so much better just in the way that I wrote about the trade. Like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, that is enjoying and embracing the journey of becoming that consistently profitable trader that we're all dreaming of. Because I do think that actually compassion compounds over time. If you are truly meant to be a trader and you are going to push through to the next levels and you're going to be a trader for a long time, like loving it and allowing yourself to enjoy that is something that compounds just as well as a P&L does, because you get deeper into it. You build those relationships, you build parts of trading that you really enjoy and you can lean into those. And it makes it less of a chore, right? It makes the discipline and the harder days less of a chore and more just a part of the business, right? You are an entrepreneur as a trader. Trading is your business. You have capital, you have expensive, you have risks, but you love your business. And so you work hard for it. And that's the same thing, right? You love your journey. You love trading. Consistent profitability comes when you're all in basically to what you are doing and what you are building. And so the P&L follows that because you build that sustainable mindset, that all in energy of I'm going to do whatever it takes. And so then whatever it takes, there's a recipe for success. Like there are absolutely profitable traders and that can be us, like we get to be the profitable traders by embracing all of it and not giving up. I think that there's so much energy to that. So anyways, all of this to say, I really actually believe that passion in trading is not optional for the traders that make it to the highest heights and really are traders that have a strong system, repeatable edge, joy, pleasure, balance in life. They stay a long time in trading, even though it's difficult. They make it to profitability and they make it to where they can scale their trades. So if you're only in it for the quick money and you're pissed off about the losses, think about what I said, like see if you can persevere for a little longer and lean in a little harder to the lessons because, if you've made it through many months of trading and you've had losses, then you've had lessons. And so you probably see that there is an opportunity to make good trades. So figure out if you can kind of go all in with your energy and choose to have passion about it. Because for me, it's so grounding. And I don't know, maybe that's the woman in me. I don't know. But like, I love the craft of trading. And I feel so much better trading when I remember that. When I'm hesitating, I'm fearful, I don't know. Maybe someone's sick. I'm not sure if I want to get up and trade the New York Open, which is actually my jam, but I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning on the West Coast. Anyways, those moments I persevere through, and sometimes I have my best trading days when I just get my ass up because this is what I've chosen to do. That is a love of the game. And the profitability and the success and the stability comes from that. You're not chasing the rushes. Instead, you're respecting the game and all in on all angles of the work of it. So go all in with me. Let's do it, right? Find something in trading that you genuinely enjoy and continue to shower the love on that part of it. And then commit to nurturing all sides of it in your journey moving forward. And I think that is how we get there, right? I think that is how we get to the badass beauty at the end, by fostering and embracing and seeking to lean into the positive parts and accepting the ones that hurt because they're making us better. I think that the journey is the destination, which is a saying that we've heard in all sorts of things, but it's actually true. And I think we have to embrace it even more in trading than in other areas because it's long. The journey is long and painful, and money flies around, and money is an emotional thing for almost all humans. So let it be emotional, and choose to prioritize the exciting energy, the love and the passion of it all, and grow into the trader that you want to be. And then the money is the icing on the cake. And scalability comes when you push through this, when you push through the psychological ups and downs, and you find the neutrality and the stability and the love that fuels it all. The money gets to fly after that. That's how it is. So try not to force it. Try to just live it. Enjoy each day. Enjoy life off the charts. Enjoy life on the charts. And having that joy makes it so much easier to get back in the arena and take the lessons with interest and curiosity. I am so glad that you guys are here with me at Market Mamas, because I really honestly believe that having people around you that are the same energy that you are striving to be rises you to that level. So if you can hang out with someone such as me who loves the market and is dedicated to the journey in all aspects of it, then I think it will help remind you that that is who you're trying to be as well, and to be in the space of embracing the journey of trading and going for it and letting it take time, because then there is no time clock on it, and you just get to do your best and keep at it and letting it happen. So anyway, I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Please do like, subscribe, leave a comment, show me a little love, because it means a lot. And have a great day. Trade safe. Take care. Bye.